All righty. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being on this call today. This is Tonette. Another great week of our taking your business to the next level, and tonight promises to be an amazing evening as we get ready for taking your business to the next level. So give me
Okay, I
one
can't do
second.
that either.
It looks as though we have someone that's unmuted, so give me 1 second. Okay, I think we're all ready to go. Okay. There we go. All right, thank you so much. This has been a really exciting time period. This is actually our third week of this training. For those of you who have just jumped in, we started off with Gordon talking about the direct selling industry. Randy, along with Benedetta, did a great training on our daily method of operation. And then this last week, we had Kelly Sweetington talking about really good health and nutrition and really how it parallels in terms of our product. So now we're going to go into talking about your team and what it takes to really help build that team. And our speaker today, let me just tell you a little bit about him. He actually has been in the direct selling industry for more than 19 years. He's really worked behind the scenes at the corporate level, for sure, working and supporting the chief sales officer. And so what happened was his expertise really has expanded businesses and community, and he's actually worked in over 50 countries with this business. Now, what happened that brought him to PM International is that he looked at a lot of companies out in the market, but what he found was that PM International has the most stable professional foundation in our industry. And for those of you who are part of this company, you can attest to that, right? But within 3 years of being in this business, he ranks at Silver President's Team. So our speaker today is none other than Silver President's Team member, Alex Grandpa. So let me go ahead and have Alex to begin. Make sure you have your pad and piece of paper, because I've listened to this training and he does such a phenomenal job at really sharing with us in terms of how to really build that cohesiveness when it comes to your team. So let's go, take it away, Alex.
Hello, PM International. This is Alex Grapov, Silver President's Team. So honored and excited to be coming to you from Switzerland. It's such a privilege anytime an opportunity to be speaking with anyone. I absolutely value your time. So it's very exciting for me to share the next maybe 30, 40 minutes with you, sharing my experience, my journey in the last 18 years of working for multiple companies. I've seen big leaders, big distributors, building big organizations, big cultures, big ecosystems. And then I personally had an opportunity now the last many years to build my own team, my own community, and some of the things I've learned. So I'm very, very excited to be sharing some fundamental basics, just a foundation. What I really believe is this business is 80-20. You know, as I've opened many, many markets in my career, we take 80% of the fundamental of the business and we have the 20% localization. And I feel that's the exact same for our people and prospects and new team members that are joining your team. Because you've got the 80% is the fundamental strategy of the what to do's and how to do them and how frequently to do them. But also there's that 20%, which is the spice, the flavor, the uniqueness that individually brings to your business, the value they bring to you. And from their experience, everyone's different, but the foundation is the same. So again, I don't ever like telling people what to do or how to do it. Hopefully, I just want to create a framework and a structure, like a root system, and then you can create your own fruits, your own flavors, your own styles. But what I've learned that these fundamental basics apply every organization, every company, even with or without network marketing, even from the corporate perspective where I spend most of my time building teams, building leadership, building all of these mechanisms to have a really healthy long-term business that everybody's winning in. So if you allow me, I will just do a quick presentation. It helps me stay on track. Okay, perfect. Okay. So today I want to just quickly be talking about leadership. And again, we'll spend maybe 30, 35 minutes. And leadership to me is really, it's a journey, it's a path, it's constantly happening. You never arrive to a finish line. You know, it's like kind of climbing a mountain. Once you achieve that, you have an amazing view, but then you're off and climbing the next mountain. So it's a constant process. Nobody arrives. I don't believe there's anyone that's a leader that's finished. We're all in this evolution and constantly learning, making the mistakes, refining our skills, and all of these things that are very, very important part of the process and part of the journey. So first up, apologize. Go back to here. There we go. So first key component of leadership, what I would, I've experienced with any realm of the business, any realm, even your family life and your communities, are those that are overcoming challenges. I think this is the key component, and this is the one part that a lot of people want to skip, or once they get to, they can't really break through that wall. So we all have challenges. We all have different obstacles in life and in business. And truly, if you see all the world changers, they're the ones that see those challenges and they find a way to overcome them. And what's important there, it's one of the key components is, as a leader, you're going to be doing things that other people are just not willing to do or have never done before. And that is a challenge. It's the unknown, especially a brand new person starting into the network marketing industry, into our business. It's very new. So I believe anyone that even starts this journey is now at the first step of leadership. So I would congratulate you for being in the business, creating teams, making the dedication. But the challenges are critically important. If you don't have challenges, if you're not overcoming obstacles, finding solutions, going through that emotional, spiritual, the energetic, all of those components and dynamics of a challenge, that's what's really, I believe, separates a leader from a follower. A follower will get to some point, hit a challenge, and then look for other people to help them find solutions, solve their problems, or else if they can't, then they start to blame other people, blame themselves. And that's why the majority of the people in the business, 90%, are really just following. But here, I believe you're on this call. You want to be the top 10, top 5, the top 1%, difference makers, the ones in the leaders. So critically important are challenges. Again, and then not only doing something that's new is very scary and challenging, but also it's critically important to keeping that enthusiasm. Some of the most leaders that I aspired to be like, and leaders that I really have a lot of respect for, are those that have had massive challenges, business ending challenges. I've been with companies that have been acquired, compensation plan changes, products changing, things that would kill any traditional business or team. They find a way to get through it. And not only that, is they keep their enthusiasm. They keep their energy. They keep that vision going. They keep the group together. I've seen companies that even if the company is contracting, there's teams still growing within. They take those challenges and turn it into energy and momentum and fuel to continue their business. And the most key component of these challenges is you're now honing your skills. You're acquiring new skills, because these challenges will make you stretch and you will have to find new solutions. Because doing things the old way gets you where you are in life, but then finding those new solutions, picking up those new skills, because even if it could be a complete disaster or whatever situation you're in, doesn't go to the outcome that you prefer or you desire, you envision, it's understanding what is the goal in that. What are some of those skills and key components that I've now refined? I've sharpened my sword to go to the next level. That's what creates a leader. I believe a leader is the one that's been through the most challenges and is still smiling, is still enthusiastic about life and their team, and is still helping other people, whether or not how they're feeling. Maybe they're having a very difficult time. They can find that strength, overcome their internal challenges to reach out and help their groups. So that would be the number one component that I've ever seen for leadership. And those that we look up into the key leaders in our world. If you look at some of the top, iconic leaders of our planet, throughout history, they're the ones that saw the biggest challenge and they overcame it. And people then would want to follow somebody that's understands what it means to struggle, understands what it means to really fight for what they want. And people want that. And they want to follow people that are doing and having things and having circumstances and situations that they desire. And that really always comes with overcoming these roller coaster challenges, especially in our business. So as you become someone invincible and bulletproof, and you've got challenges and scars and bruises and beat up, that's the warrior people want to look up to, because when they go to battle, they want to know someone that's already been there. And I'll just finish with this, calm seas never made for an experienced sailor. But for me, I would much rather have a pilot or a sailor that's been through the rockiest waters, that's been through the worst turbulence, because they understand, even though it was very challenging for them, now they've got these skills that most of these other pilots and captains don't have. And that's somebody that I want as my leader. So overcoming challenges will attract people to you, because they know that you've got a proven record, you've got the skills, you've got the experience to bring them from point A to point B. So that is critically important. So that will then start to create team creation. As people start seeing your challenges you're overcoming, we got social media, people being vulnerable, talking about all the things they've overcome, whether it's weight loss, whether it's personal issues, whether they're losing a business, then regrowing. It turns into inspiration. Your suffering and pain in that temporary moment and then overcoming then becomes inspiration, which becomes magnetic. And you start to create a team. Because to have a team, with every team, there needs to be a team leader, a team captain that's making the strategy and surrounding themselves with the best of the best players, to have the best opportunity to win the game or accomplish the goal. So once you overcome more challenges, you're sharing your story, you're helping people see that there are hope, that there is hope. Right now, we really need that. Then you start to attract a team. And what is a team? A team for me is not there's one leader and then everybody is just second. A team is just finding those people that really complement your weaknesses. Because there's many areas in my life, especially in the corporate world, where sometimes I don't like the accounting, I don't like the spreadsheets, I'm not good at the details, I have my strengths, but I would hire or I would try to attract people to my team that complemented my weaknesses. And then I would complement their weaknesses, and we became truly a puzzle. I would help balance wherever they were lacking. They were helping me balance wherever I was lacking. But that is also comes with a lot of humility and a lot of self-introspection to understand what are your weaknesses, and we all have them. It's just areas that we're not as focused on and other people might be more interested in. So that starts to create a team. Having one or two people in your organization, now you have a team and they're looking to you. And now the next part is, once you've got the group, you've got some people that are interested, you're starting to build your tribe. I think the next very key component is a team motivation. This is critically important and sometimes one of the hardest parts of leadership, because there's times when you're not motivated. There's times where you've got low energy as a leader. We're only human. No one is born with infinite leadership and enthusiasm. So that's what it becomes, again, an internal challenge. And finding those tools and mechanisms, those daily routines of getting yourself into a peak state, so that way you can overcome a lot of the mental and emotional challenges and take on the day. So what I typically like to do myself is doing the very hardest things very first in the morning, whether it's exercising, whether it's going to be doing your meditations, doing the walk, doing really good family time, or it's some of the things in the business, maybe not your most favorite things to do in the business, doing those very, very first. You conquer your biggest challenges at the very beginning of the day. You've got the clearest mind, the most energy, and that'll give you a lot of momentum and enthusiasm to go to the rest of the day. And what will that do? That'll help you create and maintain motivation and inspiration for your team. And I think some of the key components that I've seen in this business, motivation is like a sprint. I used to be a track runner. I ran 100 meters, 200 meters, and it's a full-on sprint, full energy. You're motivated for a very, very short time to just go all out. And in our business, we have these 90-day runs. Also within in terms of recognition, it's when people are hitting these big ranks, they're getting these big sprints. So for me, but motivation is just temporary. I heard a saying somewhere that motivation is like showering. You got to do it every day. So it can be very, very exhausting, but it's very necessary to have these short bursts to really motivate your team, whether it may be a promotion or motivating them through recognition, getting that dopamine up, getting them some success, getting them feeling good, helping them getting that first partner or that first three-way call. Great motivation. But I think from then you move from motivation, and what really creates long-term sustainability, long-term retention, a real true culture, is then moving your people from motivated, whatever their motivations are for joining PM, joining your group, moving them from the motivation, because motivation is temporary, into inspiration. And what I believe inspiration, and the word means in spirit, in their true self, in their true energy, whether they don't have to wake up and have external events, external things, or external people, and energize their internal energy. Because motivation is completely external. Whether you're chasing a goal or somebody is motivating you or you're watching videos, you get these temporary motivations. But when all the distractions and all of the things in the world are not there, who are you? Why are you doing it? And that actually comes from inspiration. You're inspired. You're your own spirit, walking your path, doing why are you doing it? Becoming like that individual, unique leader. And I think some of the biggest momentum shifts and paradigm shifts in teams, so you can have a team of hundreds and hundreds of people, but maybe they're not inspired. Maybe they're just stagnant. Maybe they're just kind of not doing action for whatever reason. And it can be very, very exhausting to consistently, as a leader, to be motivating and calling and pushing people to do something that's in their own best interest. Can also be very frustrating as well, because I know with our products, with our opportunity, with the community, there's so much value that people initially don't see. So it's a lot of motivation. It's, whether it's the check or whether it's the results or whatever it is. But then the true consistency is having those motivated people finding their own inspiration. So that way they're going to be operating, they're going to be doing the behaviors that's good for your business, for their business, whether you're talking to them or not. Whether there's some time that you haven't had time to contact them because you've been working on other projects, they're self-inspired, they're motivating themselves. And guess what? That starts to then duplicate to your team. That's really the key for me and my success. Not my success, what I would measure for success for me is creating a layers of duplication, layers of inspired people that are overcoming their own challenges, building their own teams, helping them stay inspired, because then that will trickle effect. That will connect to their groups, to their front line. So that way if you've got a big team of thousands of people, even hundreds of people, you're not feeling all the pressure to inspire and motivate people. But you just start to build layers and layers of inspiration. And how do you do inspiration? How do you build inspiration? What I've learned, you can't do it for other people. You have to become an example, and you have to really believe for yourself of why you're doing, having your strong convictions. And what I've really learned, that the word believe, a lot of times we talk about things we believe in the company, we believe in the product. But if you separate the words, it's be, live. You have to be it and live it. And then people will believe you, because you are now believing, you're living what you're saying, you're living your inspiration, you're living your truths. And those are the leaders that people aspire to be. And when I say aspire, that aspire to be that, then it comes in from their own inspiration, will start to motivate them. So I think that's the key component. Is first, people are motivated, and I think the real professionals, real people that are servant-hearted, help move their teams and their mindsets of some of the key people from motivation to inspiration, because you want to build more leaders. And if you've got just motivated leaders and they hit a challenge, or someone's just motivated by money and they're not making the money, or something's happening, then that motivation is gone when the smallest challenge arises. But if you've got team members, you've got many people that are inspired, again, that is permanent, that is long-term, that is real power. And then whatever challenge comes, they're inspired, whether it's to help people. And this is why I believe we really talk about, what is your big why? What do you feel like your purpose is? What's your life's work? It's critically important. For me, it's got to be much more than money. It's got to be much more than tangible things. It's got to be something within you. And as our responsibility is just to be a mirror for our team, so they can find their inspiration. You're never going to inspire someone. They're going to inspire themselves, because it's unique to them. Their why, their purpose, their life's work is coded within them. All you can do is be a mirror or shine in some areas where you point out, where you see, like, I think you're amazing in these areas, and inspire them to seek and develop their skills and dig deep into their own internal engines to get the work done that they need, and the reason that they're doing this business to find the value and benefit. So again, you having a motivated person will hit a challenge and more likely than not quit. Having an inspired person won't even see the challenge. They will see a wall and they will see a solution. They'll see the ladder. They'll see a hole. They'll know how to get through this challenge, because they're inspired by something much more than just temporary objective outcomes. So that's why it's also in the business, I think it's important for your team is to have your short-term goals that are really motivating them, hitting that rank, getting their initial order back, making a little bit of extra income, helping their families make some income, maybe some people losing some weight, feeling better, more energy. All these incredible things are motivating at the beginning, But then once that motivation kind of fluctuates, then you want to build an army of inspired people. And that is truly, I believe, creating the real recognition is when they can recognize themselves, even if they're not hitting a rank and getting that temporary motivation. They're recognizing that they're growing, they're overcoming challenges, they're attracting amazing team builders, and they're doing the same and helping inspire other people. So next, and that all comes down to, now you're starting to create a community culture. So again, to recap, overcoming these challenges will start to attract team members that are maybe having similar problems, similar challenges, and you're like one step ahead. That's a true leader, and they want to close that gap, and you're just there holding out your hand, helping them come, and then starting to create your team, and then helping them create a team. And then recognition and motivation, critically important. Once you got the members in, they're very motivated at the beginning of joining any business, very, very excited. Then the honeymoon starts to end, and then their motivation starts to decrease. And as the motivation decreases, behaviors decrease. If the mental behaviors decrease, then the actions decrease, output decreases, and then they get more and more less motivated. You know, and it turns into a cycle. So I quickly try to move my people out of motivation for short term into inspiration of a long-term vision of what they're doing and the potential that they can impact people, regardless of just small focus goals, but really a big picture of what this opportunity in this ecosystem of value can create for a leader, creating the team, then helping motivate and inspire the team to then become stepping into that role. That starts to create a community of culture. And I think this is the big component. So if you've got these big teams that are staying together for many, many years, and you know, when I was prior to working to PM, I never was seeing leadership or teams moving from PM to my company, or any company I was associated with. I never really understood why. And now I see it because we built such an incredible culture of teams, and a culture for me is multiple teams. Like for myself, I've got cross lines of teams in different countries, different cultures, different ethnicities, but they're all building under one umbrella of culture. Everyone has this similar culture, whether they don't know each other. And that's what PM is creating, is a community culture. So we're getting 3 billion sales, hundreds of thousands of partners and customers. It creates a certain culture that feels like you're a part of something. And I think the key components as a leader in creating the proper culture, I think the first, especially right now in the world, is anybody joining any project, any opportunity wants to feel safe and secure. Understand that this is a safe, secure, because that really helps to lower the fear barrier. Because what we're really dealing with when we're talking about any individual, there's two motivations. It's fear and desire. A lot of times we lead with desire, which is like the money, the extra income, the opportunity, all of these things, which are more desire based. What's your why? The travel, all these things are true and they're amazing. But for some people, they just don't feel safe and secure in their current financial or health situation. So really pushing a very high goal, it seems kind of unreachable. That's a challenge that's really big for them to overcome. Again, a lot of people maybe talking to have never been in a leadership position, not even in their own lives, not taking leadership in their finances and their families and their health. So that's really why they're coming to us, because we have solutions in all these areas. So first, I really like to say is this is a safe, secure spot. This is a safe place. The risk to reward is significantly better. So try to lower the fear barrier. Because once you can manage the fear, saying all the, many different fears people have about everything, once you can kind of help ease that, that'll help their perspective then open up more to the opportunity. So first is safety, security of, again, people trusting, liking, and, believing in what you're saying. That lowers that. And then the second component is value. People want to know what's in it for them. Okay, they feel safe, the fear is lowered. So in this community, it's what's the value? And this is what we have at PM. We've got the value, incredible value of everyday use of these products to improve your health. It's an incredible value, incredible cost, very convenient products, taste amazing, and it helps, supplement, other things people are already buying to upgrade to some elite supplements. So that's an incredible value. We've got the compensation plan, incredible value. We've got the PM events. We've got the corporate team. We've got your teams, adding value in a community. So people need to see what's in it for them and what's in it for other people that they bring into the ecosystem and the culture. So having a culture of value, that whether people are making money or not, whether, you know, they're maybe not hitting their goals or not necessarily, but they feel like they're a part of something that's still giving them value in many, many other areas and components. And I'd say the last part is vision. And this is a huge one. So again, in culture is security, value, and then a real culture has a vision. So that's moving somewhere. Energy is constantly moving. Once you get stagnant, you start to petrify. The culture starts to get stagnant. It starts to turn into a rock. So having a vision for yourself, for your own life as a leader, and constantly sharing your vision of why you're in PM, why are you doing this? What is your vision? People will start to get more inspired about their vision and their motivation, and they want to be with a team or a leader that's going somewhere. Whether again, and I purposely made these lines squiggly. There's not a straight line to all of this. You know, you might overcome a lot of challenges and never really build a team for a while until you overcome some big challenges, and all of a sudden you got a massive team. And then, even if you got a big team, it sometimes takes time to figure out the right pathway to motivating the people, understanding and learning about your people, finding what inspires them. And then they start to really, really become self-sufficient. And then the more teams you're growing, because you're going to have multiple different teams and multiple different lines. As a leader, it's important for you then to create an umbrella overall culture that's a safe community. People can be who they want to be accepted. All of these things, maintaining order and structure. So everybody that joins your community feels heard and safe, and accepted. And then adding a lot of value, whether it's, in this business, we have a lot of, the word personal development. I don't love that word, but it's just evolution and adding more perspective to people, giving them tools and strategies to improve their lives in other areas, become leaders in other areas of their lives, maybe their family, maybe their other businesses, maybe in their current jobs, help them really win because they're part of your culture. And then the values, and the next thing is vision. Having a big vision. When I first started PM, my big vision I was sharing to my leaders is having $1 billion team in $1 billion company. It was huge vision, and people loved it, and I believed it, and I still believe it's absolutely possible. More in PM than any company to have a team of $1 billion in sales, which is a huge impact. A lot of people getting healthier and getting commissioned within a company that's $1 billion. That was my vision for PM. And people and big leaders, not big leaders, but experienced leaders that were looking for a culture that's safe, that has value and big vision is how I launched my business, was those components. For me, again, I'll reiterate, for me, PM was very, very safe. It was proven. It was a great culture already. So it was safe for me to join that culture. I had a lot of value, and there's a lot of value I can pass on to anybody I introduce to this business, because I know the product is incredible. The testimonies, my personal now 3+ years of taking the products is bulletproof. Absolutely love it. Having my beauty activized mix right now. And then also, having that vision. So that being said, I would, in my experience, if you want to creating a team, maintaining a team, and having a healthy, thriving team, that, whether you're operating or not, is creating an ecosystem that's so much benefit, that people understand that this is so much more than just network marketing or fitness products or whatever, but you're creating your own ecosystem. Just to sum it up, where your leaders, your people are overcoming challenges. They're growing, they're becoming better, they're hitting new ranks, they're hitting new objectives, which is now creating leaders in themselves, because now they can show other people how to do it. And now as you're becoming more leaders, more self-sufficient people that are overcoming their own challenges, they're starting to create their own teams. And now if they're inspired, they're seeing the momentum and energy, now they become their own little team motivators and moving from people from motivation to inspiration. And then you've got multiple teams that are growing, overcoming challenges, inspiring each other and recognizing each other, how they're progressing. Now all those multiple teams, like little cells in a body, turn into an organism, an organ, and that is your culture. And really, as a leader, your responsibility is to keep that culture really healthy. Maintaining the security and safety and acceptance in your teams. Because we're still dealing with people, so that's what I've learned mostly is we're dealing with people's personalities. I always say, like, people don't have business problems in business. They have personal problems that they bring into business. So a lot of times if there's business issues, it's really something deeper. So it's really creating the culture of helping people overcome other challenges in their life, and then they perform better everywhere. So once you got motivated, inspired team members, then you've got multiple teams, you've got the ecosystem, and you're still there. You're going to be overcoming new challenges. There's going to be new things coming up. You know, there's a saying in the rap, more money, more problems, you know, more distributors, more challenges, but that's why you're a leader. That is your specialty. And throughout all of your challenges, you're going to have the right skills and the wisdom to properly overcome these challenges and inspire your team to do the same for themselves. Because none of us have all the answers. We just have our experience and our tools and our strategies, to take on any new unknown situation. So with that being said, just to wrap up overcoming challenges, step one for me of stepping into a leadership role, then attracting the right team members, creating a team, helping them inspire and motivate, inspire, kind of a both short-term, long-term. And then also after that, once you're starting to really grow and build, now you're growing the community of security, value, and vision. And then that's going to bring you just more challenges and more problems. But with that said, every time you're running through this cycle, your team is growing, everything is expanding, and it becomes and it creates a truly ecosystem that can sustain itself and that can be all around the world. And that culture, if you can build that culture with one team and it affects another team and affects another team, all of a sudden you've got a big organization, or even if it's a small organization, but of happy people solving their own problems. Of course, you will help them. But they're starting to go from just being motivated to being inspired, and they're creating their own cultures within their teams. And that will now create a really magnetic effect and bringing in really great people into your team that have the right mindset, the right attitudes, and the right integrity. And then that way it's becoming a true leader. And then now you even have more time for yourself, overcoming bigger challenges and stepping into a bigger role of leadership. And it never ends. You never reach the top. You just have to enjoy the process and, realize this is a cycle. And as long as you're cycling up and down, you're learning, but just keeping your trajectory and your trend rate going in the direction of what you want in your life purpose. So that being said, hopefully that added some value to everybody. And I can't wait to come back to the U.S. Hopefully meet so many of you soon. I've been in Europe many years now. But I love the U.S., love North America. PM is unbelievable vehicle, unbelievable products, with an incredible culture and creating an ecosystem all around the world to really support us. So thank you, PM, for everything as well, and I appreciate everybody. And with that being said, Alex Grapov signing off from Switzerland, and I hope to see you all soon.
There was a lot of great takeaways, and I would love for someone who wants to share their biggest takeaway. You can share it in the chat. The chat is open, but who wants to share a big takeaway? I saw some of you taking notes about some of the things that Alex was talking about in terms of building a team and really having that cohesiveness. So let me see, who can I'll reach out to Bernadetta because I see her camera. And no, Bernadetta, you have a big team anyway, right?
Yes.
Your team. So what was it that what were some of the takeaways that you had on the call?
Well, for sure, when he spoke about being inspired, motivating and inspire your team, talking about being in spirit, that really touched base with me. And especially when he spoke about believe, because I just got my tattoo here, which says believe. And it really, I think it's magic because, we have to believe. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in what we have in our hands. And we have to believe in the difference we can make with the people we approach every day and with our team members. So this is my biggest takeaway for tonight.
Wow, that's wonderful. Let me ask Wayne if he wants to share a little bit of his takeaway.
Okay, my biggest takeaway was when he said finding team partners, I guess, that will strengthen your weaknesses. So balance. That painted a picture of balance to me.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Alexandria, do you want to go ahead? And Esther, do you want to go ahead and share? Like, hold on one second, Alexandria, I'll let you unmute. Go ahead.
Hi. So my biggest takeaway was that like everybody has to like overcome challenges. Everybody has to go through challenges to grow. I've been seeing it a lot recently that I've been like struggling that there's just so many challenges and I think I can't overcome them. But like once you overcome them, you are in a state of wow, I would have never thought I can overcome them. But yeah, you just grow so much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Taking that is a big point. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Esther, do you want to go ahead and share a little bit of your takeaways?
Sure, my pleasure. Create security and values. Like I think it's important when you talk to people that they realize it's a unique place they could come to if they choose so, so that you have really good points to share with potential customer or team partners, that everything is safe, not only the products, but the entire, let's say, career they want to do with us or join us, that it's really a safe place and way more than network marketing, because sometimes it might not have the best name out there, network marketing, but really to give them the security that it's a really good place, PM International, to be with.
You are so right. Thank you all so much for your takeaways. And we truly hope that all of you took some notes. I mean, the one thing that Alex, I took lots of notes going back to when he talked about motivation to inspiration, taking on that motivation only staying for just a minute, but moving it to inspiration where you can overcome. A lot of times there's that myth in this business that you sign up, you talk to your family, everyone says yes, and then all of a sudden you then get your car and then you go and you're on stage. But as I'm looking at the call today, I'm seeing so many different leaders that was not their journey. But when you take it from motivation to inspiration and you overcome those challenges, people are connected to you. People want to know exactly how to be able to get ahead in this business. Let your team see you. Let them see you as to who you are, and let them see that you don't give up and that you continue to move forward on this journey. So thank you all so much for being on the call. I think it really is befitting that our theme for this year is, in terms of making your dreams come true. That's exactly what PM International is always about. And that's one of the reasons why we talk about being the family of power, right? Because we are a family, and we're going to continue sharing that in our 30th anniversary. So thank you again for coming on the call today for another great episode of taking your business to the next level. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.